Hey everyone, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for another Try It Tuesday video. If you'd like to see what I'm going to do, stick around. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for another Try It Tuesday video. I'm definitely going to be trying all the things today because I have a million pictures here, and as you can see, it looks like a hot mess, and it is a hot mess, but I was trying to get some brainstorming done before I started filming because I just know this is going to be super long. At least I think it is. I say that and then who knows. But here's my idea. So I wanted to do today's story is story number 23 about cousin love and just how it's such a big part of our return to Michigan at Christmas time, that the cousins all get to see each other and they're all reunited together. And they all live out there except obviously for us, but not in the same city. So it's really nice when we get to all be together. And Nora absolutely loves her cousins. Her one younger cousin lives literally like a mile down the road from Matt's parents. So they see each other often, which is why there's a lot of photos of them. So Nora and Fiona I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pictures of. And then I just have one of Nora and Renee, which she's the second youngest. Wait a minute. So it goes Justin, Nora, Fiona. No, wait. Justin, Nora, Renee, Fiona, and Sutton. Sutton's the baby. So this is Sutton giving Nora a pound, and Nora's trying to give her a high five. It was so funny. This is all of them minus Sutton because Sutton was already in the car. And so I want to have all these photos kind of in here, and then I thought I might leave the top row blank and somehow put cousin love. And then I don't know, I love the idea of doing all these embellishments and turning some of these empty pockets into like a shaker pocket, or putting some stars, sort of kind of playing on the idea from Product Play. However, I was kind of toying with the idea of doing just circular shapes in the negative pockets. So I'm not really sure how this is going to turn out. I also obviously need to have a space for journaling. And then I also need to make sure that on the front side of this, that whatever is showing is obviously matched up. So it doesn't, I mean, at least for me, I don't want that to look like, to open the project and have it just look like this, right? Like I want to have other embellishments on the back side. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I thought, okay, these are supposed to be here. I put sticky notes on the slots where I thought I wanted to put the particular photo. So we shall see what happens. I'm scared. I'm scared. But here I go. I'm going to put fast forward on and do my voiceover and wish me luck. Let's go. Let's go. I realized that the photos were just a little bit too large for the pockets. So this is really just me trimming them down. It's not that exciting. So I made it really fast. Yay. So much fun. This is the way we trim the pictures, Okay, so now I have to try to figure out where I'm going to put what and how and all the things. I decided to use this grid paper that came with the kit, the December Daily main kit, and then trim it down, and that's what I'm going to use to put inside each of the pockets. And I figured out that I could probably stamp Cousin Love across the top, and then just put the number in the top right. So Cousin Love is going to go where that paper is, and then the number is going to go up there. I had a bit of a hard time trying to get it in the pocket. You can see I'm struggling here. Struggle boss. Get in. Oh, okay, there you go. And then I'm playing around with where I want to put the circles, and I decided to stick with just this like neutral palette of this sort of, I don't even know what color brown that is, but the browns and then the cork and the greens. And then I decide that's just me going through a bunch of different embellishments off camera. That's helpful. I'm so glad that I decided to do that off camera. Here I go, going through different embellishments. I realized that those are going to be too big, but I would have liked to use the cardstock die cuts in the negative pockets. And then I was like, oh, I know, I have this neutral cardstock and the 3x4 card that will match perfectly. So I punched circles out of that 3x4 cards, note card, journaling card, whatever you want to call it, and then punched some circles out of the green cardstock with the gold leaf, foiled leaf pattern on it. And then just embellish it a little bit with some circles on top of the pattern paper, and then the cork on a couple of the other papers, and sort of just played around with where I wanted. Tried to spread out the designs and the colors. It was kind of just a bit of a balancing game. And then I realized, oh yeah, I need a couple of pockets to journal because I need to tell the stories, obviously. So this is me starting to plan for what I thought was going to be a visible side, and you'll see that I end up backing it right up against the back of story 22 on the left. So all that was for nothing. And then now I'm going to get carried away because I'm like, oh, I kind of need to think ahead of what's going to come after story 23, because that's what's going to go on the back of all of these photos and circles and cardstock squares. So I'm like, okay, let me think about what's coming next. First, I'm going to adhere 23 to the square, flip it over, and I'm like, oh, the next story is going to be on Christmas Eve, and it's the story of how I saw 5 cardinals outside of my favorite spot in my mother-in-law's sunroom. And it's just a super awesome story. So technically, you get to see me do all this now, even though I will do a separate video for story 24. So it's like bonus footage. You're welcome. I love that. I just had a little piece of that Remember December, or maybe it just says December all over the paper. And so I trimmed that down and used that to back it because I like the neutral color. And then I just wanted it to be like neutral, like that tan, brown, and then red to go with the pops of red that are the cardinals on the picture to the right, which you can't see very well, but in real life they pop and they're very bright and just so lovely, and it means a lot to me. But I'll save that story for the next Try It Tuesday video. So you get to see me just sort of embellishing the backs. I ended up punching some circles out of this another grid patterned paper from, I don't know if it was from the add-on paper. I did pay for the add-on papers as well. And so now I have to just figure out what color, or sorry, not color, I know I want it to be red, but what pattern paper I want to also be included. So I have the December one from the kit, and then this just red snowflake one, which matched that circle that says Beautiful Memory perfectly, and that came from just like a Michaels 6x6 paper pad. The Beautiful Memory and the Don't Lose Sight of This chipboard sticker or pieces came from Story Kits, because I do subscribe to the Story Kits as well. And then I'm like, ooh, I could do a bunch of wordfetti on this extra square that's in the middle, but then I decided to continue to play off using the colors. So all I did was take the word strips that came in the kit and trimmed them. They're vellum. So I just alternated the colors and trimmed them to cover the back of this cardstock. And I think it looks really cute, actually. I like how it turned out. And then that Remember also is from, I think it's the December story kit. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of that scrap paper to be the backer for the heart. I'm not finished. I will continue to embellish those squares in the next video. But now I'm like trying to figure out what I want to do. And I decide that this is where I'm going to tape it to the back of Story 22's cardstock. So you see that I'm using my double-sided tape to adhere that left pocket page so it has a white backing. And I like it. I think it looks really nice and crisp and clean. So now I'm going to take the cards out and then do the stamping. I wanted to use the December Daily stamps, alpha stamps, but the letters looked too small to me and I wasn't sure what else I was going to put on it. So you see I'm like twiddling my fingers there and not quite sure what to do. So I'm like, let me just look at inks first. And I pulled out Forest Moss. I tried Rustic Wilderness. I tried Old Paper, and I didn't like any of them to match the green. So then I ended up pulling out Frayed Burlap, and I'm like, all right, that's what we're gonna go with because it's dark enough and it sort of goes, but I didn't like the size of the letters, so I actually went and pulled these alphas from my Heidi Swap collection. I have a lot of her stamps, so I ended up using those. I think they're called Destination Alphas, but I don't know, I could be wrong. But I'll link them below if you're interested. I just like how basic they are, and they were the perfect size, so I was really glad that I had those in my collection. I would have made it work with the ones that came with the December Daily, that I purchased with the December Daily kit, but they were just so small for what I wanted. So I'm all finished, and I debated like adding some embellishments to the paper, but in the end I just kind of like got overwhelmed and decided to leave it. So that's basically it. See, I'm looking at embellishments, but I just leave it as is. So that's my end result. I don't know. I don't know if I love it. It doesn't look as cohesive as I wanted it to, even though I really did try. And I wonder if that's because the left side has white backing and the right does not. But I decided to use the back of the right side to be a jump off point for story 24. So this is what we're working with. You can see that I had a hard time kind of deciding on a Distress Oxide ink color. And in the end, I went with the Frayed Burlap. There just isn't really a green that's this color. I'm sure Tim Holtz is not watching, but if he was, or anybody from Ranger who has a sphere of influence, we need a green that's that color. Anyhow, I really like the way the circles look and how I got them all to sort of, like I used a 3x4 card for this background, and the cork pieces are from Jenny Garcia. The journaling says, Nora loves spending time with her cousins. It brings me so much joy to watch them play, bond, and do life together. These are moments captured from the 23rd through the 28th. Christmas at Gam Gam's, Chapman Christmas, and our big family outing to the Van Gogh experience. So that's what this is. You can look, I just taped it right to the back of story 22, so it flips fairly easily. And then sneak peek for story 24. I started this as my jump off point, and I didn't get as detailed as I wanted because I realized like I needed to calm down and I didn't need to finish it now because it's going to be in the I'm going to do it for the next story. So all that being said, I think this turned out pretty good. It gets the point across. It's photos of all the cousins. It's got the circles in each of the other pockets, minus the journaling here. And I do like the top. I just was trying to find a way to maybe tie this in a little bit better. That's why I was looking through some embellishments and things. But in the end, I left it blank. I'm not quite sure if it's going to stay that way or not. But I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your feedback. I welcome any and all criticism, suggestions, anything like that, because again, very new to all of this, but really, really loving this project. So let me know if you've got any questions. Don't forget to leave your feedback. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any more of my content. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, sweet friends, and remember that you are enough. Bye.